Let us chant the Sunday morning excerpt of the fundamental text of Dzogchen, the spaciousness of Vajrasattva, written by Garb Dorje, translated from the Tibetan by Yeshe Tonden, adapted as well as amplified by yours truly. Together. Equal in all its manifestations, there is nothing to gradually arrange. All forms being one in reality. Nothing needs to be dedicated in any direction. We may accumulate and range our various offerings, but since they occur naturally, they need no arranging or distribution. The true condition being intrinsically perfect, there is no need to make offerings. So, once again, the author of this text is railing against ritualism in much the same way as the Buddha did in the Dhammapada, when he taught that it's better to spend just 1 hour in meditation than an entire lifetime in ritual. Together. Pure from its inception, the pristine continuum is already wisdom nectar. There is no need for our minds or senses to visualize or intend. The fundamental practice of Dzogchen is to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly, in harmony with our inhalation, to both physically relax as well as mentally release in harmony with our exhalation. This is nothing special. This is exactly how our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems evolved to function. And simply by aligning our intention with these factory installed settings, we're able to become the people that our dog already thinks we are. Therefore, aside from noticing and releasing, there's nothing else to do. We do not need to visualize. We do not need to intend. We do not need to wish. We do not need to actively manifest. Together, all phenomena already is like a tongue twister for me. So let's try that again. All phenomena are already arrayed and consecrated by the mind's judgments. The spiritual power of clear seeing is the equipoise of contemplative stillness. So, we have evolved many survival mechanisms that help us to draw us to that which we need to survive. Food, shelter, clothing, water, and mating opportunities. These are required for the propitiation of our species. There's nothing wrong with the mechanisms that shove at some things and reach for others. The only time this gets us into trouble is when these things become controlling in our lives, when we lose the ability to choose and we become slaves of these impulses. So, therefore, the idea of making offerings is absurd. We already recognize what is good. We already recognize what is bad. And having transcended duality, there's no entity for us to make offerings to. There's not us and them or me and you. There's just a vast us. Let's continue. The spiritual power of clear seeing is the equipoise of contemplative stillness. So clear seeing means that our perceptions are vulnerable, visceral, passive, and random, not dominated by agenda or goal. Let's continue. Even an instant of this contemplation is divine union. So, divine union is vague, and so we hear it a lot. Specifically, in the context of Buddhism, divine union means viscerally experiencing both perception and release, therefore experiencing circumstances as appearing yet non-graspable, experiencing the physical as sensual yet non-graspable, experiencing the interpersonal as resounding yet non-graspable, experiencing the mental as lucid or clear yet non-graspable. So basically, whatever we experience, as we breathe in, we surrender to spontaneous perception. As we exhale, we relax and release. Together, the satisfaction of this union fulfills all spiritual commitments. We do not need to obsess over the numerous vows of refuge, monasticism, bodhicitta, or samaya. This simple practice of noticing and releasing in harmony with inhalation and exhalation is the fulfillment of all rules. Now you might say, well, what's to stop me from becoming a psychotic bastard and going after my neighbors with a hatchet? Simple. The effect of this meditation upon our brain is to sedate the aggression centers and to automatically light up the empathy centers, thus paving the way for the highest love, which is spontaneous and uncontrived. Let's continue with our chanting. Going through the 10 steps of various spiritual practices, one is in reality offering state of non-union, non-duty. So let's sweet. Take two. Going through the 10 steps of various spiritual practices. One is in reality offering the state of union non-duty. So, what this is inferring is that the simple practice of Ati Yoga, this simple practice of noticing and releasing, is superior to all the rituals, all the bows, all the offerings, all the mantras, all the visualizations, all the energy work. This is easier than all that, quicker than all that, and more effective than all that. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. We shall do we come now to our opening chant. Begin with the extensive, empathetic bodhicitta and enthusiastic refuge. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hate, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. These final three, the metaphor describing these final three is 3 wish-fulfilling jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. If you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as Rey on Ahch-To under the guidance of Luke Skywalker, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Let us review the instructions for meditation. Oh, come on, machine, don't be that way. Okay. Mindfulness and meditation are known by many names, such as Zen, Shan, Dhyana, Mahamudra, Mahasanti, Ati Yoga, Dzogchen, and Treksho. Despite their fancy names, their method is ridiculously easy. The key to mindfulness is this. Every time we inhale, we automatically access our sympathetic nervous system, which, although is not wired for active concentration, is wired to simply notice, and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. Therefore, during each inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this. The key to meditation is that during each exhalation, we automatically access our parasympathetic nervous system, which is already wired for physical relaxation as well as mental release. Therefore, during our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the the monosyllabic verb ease. If at any point during this live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Now, if you're watching on a laptop or a desktop, that chat window should be on the right. If you're watching, however, on your smartphone, that chat window is down below. And now, let's meditate. I think it could be fun to switch practice texts. Let's take a moment to do just that. Let us exercise love's right aspirations, the second fold of the eightfold path. We can begin by bringing our experience of the circumstantial into the path of wishing love. As we breathe in, we can silently and mentally wish good fortune, and as we exhale, we can direct that good fortune for all circumstances. We're using lots as a synonym for circumstances. It's not our job to visualize, it's not our job to emote, it's not our job to believe. If all we do is silently and mentally recite these words in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation and our relaxation, we will make progress on the path. If we begin to feel any physical discomfort, we can play with the three marks of reality, compassion, and the three marks of reality. We begin with stress, or dukkha, the first mark of reality, with the contemplation, how could this feel stressful? This is, by the way, insight meditation. We now turn to universal compassion with the wish, all being stress, may I soothe. We now turn to the third mark of reality, impermanence or anicca, with the rhetorical question, how could this never last? We conclude with the third mark of reality, not self or anatta, with the rhetorical question, how could this not be me? We ask this simply to help us to get better and better at letting go. We return to metta meditations, good fortune for all lots. Now let us bring the physical into the path of love by wishing profound health for all forms. We're using the word form as a monosyllabic synonym for body. Now let us bring the experience of the interpersonal into the path of love. Let's bring the base of mind into the path of love by wishing great wisdom for all minds, or the concise version, wise all. Oopsie, wrong button. Let's try that again. Let's seal this practice with a bit of the old chanting. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness for spontaneous and uncontrived. May everyone be free from misery. May everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging, freed. If you feel that I have earned it, you could type something in the chat window. You could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could share it with a friend. You could even help support this channel on Patreon. In approximately 3¼ hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's afternoon group meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.